Thank you, Martin, very much, and welcome everyone to our FLS Meetup Night. I'm really happy to share my experience with you. And to present myself, I'm Sergey, senior software developer in FLS company. My experience is based on various e-commerce projects, based on Optimizely, based on different technologies. And today I'm going to change the slides. So, my presentation will be about a path from the developer to the data analyst, and will touch a couple of DevOps practice. It won't be complex, it won't be oriented only for developers. If you are project manager, a quality assurance engineer, stakeholder, it doesn't matter, it's just ideas how you can bring your new tools, new experience to your mind, to your team members, to your project itself. So let's actually set a problem, what I'm going to discuss with you. Let's imagine you have a kind of startup project or big project, and you're a developer and sitting, bug fixing, implementing new functionality, and one day you ask yourself, what is the revenue of my product? Why I have so many customers, why I have so many sales, but I don't know how I correlate to each other, how I correlate to seasons, to some marketing campaigns, and that's exactly a problem which we are going to solve. I suggest you to solve it through the really simplistic steps. I will deploy a couple of utilities which will help us to know these metrics. We'll learn how to make our first dashboards, and later you'll be able to practice more to build up your data analyst skills. Maybe not you as yourself, maybe you'll just reshare it to your team members, and that's how you'll bring more metrics, more dashboards to your managers, to your company. So, agenda of my presentation will be as the following. First of all, we will find an idea. I will tell you how to find idea, and we already touched it a bit. Next step is exploration of the tools on the market. You need to compare prices, you need to compare pros and cons of each tool, you need to ask your colleagues, you maybe need to join different tools together just to have better maintenance of them. Next part is being a bit of DevOps, so we will be able to deploy, we'll be able to maintain and monitor our utilities. And actually, next part would be about gathering the data from the product, gathering data from existing solution, from the most popular product which we are using in our company, for our clients, etc. It's just based on experience. And after that, conclusions and some insights and ideas about data analyst itself. So, first of all, find an idea. As I said already, we have a problem. We don't know how our product reacts to the market. We don't know how implementation of our functionality changes it. We don't know why this month or this day we have a big amount of issues, maybe big amount of clients on our portals. And that's how you could find idea in your own product, in your team members. You need to ask yourself, ask your colleagues, what are key metrics which you are daily observing. And let's just imagine we have some kind of startup project, we have some customers, orders, we are even in different countries already. And this is exactly metrics which we are going to extract from our databases, from our product. So next one is exploration of the tool. So let's say we have a problem, we have a product, and now we need to go to the market and find what tools we are going to use. I suggest you to start from the, as I said, asking your colleagues, looking for the open source solution, just to solve your problems in a short-term period. You don't need to think much about licensing, you don't need to think about ways how you solve bureaucracy of organization to bring some new tools. You just need to play around some tool on your local machines, maybe on your lower environments, etc. Just to understand, does this tool solve your problem or not? And next you will ask appropriate questions and go to stakeholders to define more and more tools for your product. And today I'm going to select the Optimizely Foundation. It's open source, let's say it's open source solution based on Optimizely, CMS and commerce. It's ready to use. It will require a license for usage on production, but for development you could start doing it right now. So now we have an e-commerce project and we'll use it. Supportive utilities to wire everything together, Nginx, Microsoft SQL Server, Let's Encrypt, and third what? Some tools which can help you to start publish your work to your colleagues, to your stakeholders. You need to make it secure, you need to have it accessible, etc. So you need to select something which will support all the utilities you have. I will be playing based on a Docker. You could install it on your machines. It's Docker desktop for Windows, and it helps you to containerize your application, and that's how via virtualization of operation system you don't need to think about where and how to host it. You could host everything on your machine inside Docker, and after experiment throw it to bin with no problems. And main guy or this presentation is Apache Superset. It's a tool which is open source application for exploration data of your product. It supports petabyte of the data, so it could be applicable to multiple projects, it could be applicable to different size of your business, and that's why it's selected together. So now a couple of boring slides how to deploy everything. It's commands to running SQL Server on Docker engine. Docker support your own images which you could build from the application by defining Docker files and describing command line by line what actually you're going to change and how you're going to build, how you are going to deploy your application. And Microsoft already prepared for us images for SQL Server, and we just need to specify a couple of parameters like passwords, like or ports which we are going to use. And one more important point is volumes and network. When you're deploying something, you need to think where you will be storing data, how it will be backed up, etc. Because if you are going to use it in future, it has to be reliable, it has to be secure, and that's why I'm suggesting you to think from the beginning, because it's not so complex. The first phases much more complicated, could be on the later phases if you will face some issues and understand that you don't have backups, etc. So for Optimizely Foundation, it's also much easier for deployment. We have a repository on GitHub where we well written instruction how to deploy it on your own. So you just need to specify parameters, name your application, and run a couple of commands to run this commerce site on your machine and starting experiencing, starting bringing your customers to your product and playing with that data and gathering some metrics. So after deployment, it will look like this. So it will have a CMS where you could configure pages, you could configure products, and it's, as I said, it's based on Microsoft SQL Server, and it could be deployed on Docker. and after your development finished, you could just bring licenses and make it available for production. So for superset, it's again much easier, even when Microsoft SQL Server, they have again official image available on a Docker Hub. You need to install a couple of plugins, and this is really interesting topic because supersets support a lot of plugins. They are coming from the Python world, so you could bring different charts, you could bring different algorithms how you are going to process your data. So one of our plugins which we'll install today is just Microsoft SQL Server connection driver. Again, we need to think about security, so we need to define a strong secret keys. We need to define an administrative user, and after that, after first login, you will be able to change passwords, and site with Apache Superset will be accessible for you. So yeah, just one more time mentioning that we can extend more visualization paths for your data. We can install multiple plugins. We can install plugins which will help you to predict your charts and make a kind of a forecast on your data. So about security. When you're bringing all together, you need to think how to host it. So let's imagine you play it on local machine, and now you need to go to production and make it secure. So I suggesting you to wrap everything to the Docker files, where you will have clear instructions how your application, how your service will be deployed. Next part is Nginx server configuration, which will help you to hide unnecessary things from the public and make kind of proxy additional authentication layers for all the application inside your network. I'm suggesting to use Let's Encrypt service, which provide you, let's say, free certificates for your site, and it make your users protected, your users secure, and via certbot you can automate it every 3 months. By default, it could be renewed, and you don't need to pay attention how and who will actually take care about licenses of certificates and prolongation of them. So now let's start to be data analysts and talk about key points what data analysts do. First of all, they need to ask correct questions for the stakeholders. They need to find problem and define objectives. What kind of metrics affect their business? How metrics are interacted with sales, with new customers, with success or failures. Next part of data analysis is data mining, clearing the data, and exploration, making kind of prediction what can happen with this data, kind of hypothesis why this data is important, why this metric is not related at all to orders, etc. So you need to define attributes and properties of your business models to extract them and combine later. After that, we need to build a model and probably think about kind of prediction, how this model will sits in a system, and fill it with data. We need to add data which are missing. We need to remove data which are not applicable for the concrete situation. And after all the things, we have to visualize this data. It could be charts, it could be some maps, just numbers. Or more important part is kind of interaction, because all the stakeholders, all the product managers will have to ask you how system will react if I change something. So it has to be parameterized. You can define something something in advance. You need to define parameters of your models, which can help you to predict or get the important information from all the data you gathered. So now let's talk about configuration of Apache Superset. It's support, as I said, various database servers, and it also support just CSV files, Excel files, so you could bring data from the different sources. You could download, I don't know, activity of your users from the social media. You could download activity from other platforms, bring it all together, and after that you'll be able to find a correlation, I don't know, about meetups and sales of your products. After connecting your data sources, you have to define queries. You have to extract data from your product, and for a server from optimized e-commerce, where is, for example, purchase orders table, where you could find all the orders placed in your system, and based on that, I'm suggesting to create a view with multiple parameters, adding usernames, adding dates, adding some interesting information like location of warehouses of your product and destination location where clients actually buying some stuff. And as you have a result of queries, you play it with it a bit, you could save it as a data set, and it will be available for your charts. So after that, when you have ready data sets with parameters and all the data that you're going to explore, you have to select a chart type, and you could bring more of them, so it's big numbers, tables, some maps, etc. And after that, you will configure your most important measurements, your most important key metrics, and Superset will preview charts of data what you extracted. And here on the slide, you could see data from existing application. We had a kind of a marketing activity in the beginning of here, and I enabled forecast for the built-in plugin in Superset. And without additional activity, they giving us, hey, looks like next year, same time, you will have more orders placed, you will have more money. It's exactly what you can bring to stakeholders. Hey guys, we had some spike of activities on the site. Let's make more marketing campaigns and we'll be more successful. So you could add more data sources, as I told you previously. So you could bring data sources of activity inside your company and find a correlation with these charts. And as long as you have multiple chart builds based on your data sets, you could create a dashboard of multiple charts altogether and provide it to the stakeholders. So they will be able to download it, they will be able to play with it by filters, they will be able to share it with colleagues and make an appropriate decision for the business or for yourself, how exactly improve your product, what functionality is going to be added, and what is actually was failed. So that almost it. In the presentation later you could find some references where to find information, where to find instructions how to deploy these tools and how to configure them properly. And let's have a conclusion of our presentation. When we set an idea, when we set a problem, we can start thinking about its solution almost immediately by bringing some open source tool. You could even making some tools on the hand. You'll have a kind of solution. It will answer your most important questions. And once you have first answers, you could evolve, you could bring more insight, you could ask colleagues, and by new questions, you'll bring another tools, better practices, etc. So that's how you could start your career as data analyst. Thank you, everyone. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Sergey. It's very insightful. Thank you very much. I learned quite a lot because I'm probably one of few people non-technical, so I learned quite a lot. Guys, do you have any questions to Sergey regarding his presentation? Don't be shy. Go on, really. Guys, come on. Such an interesting topic and no questions about it. Yeah? Oh, that's good. Who was first? Should I toss the coin? There you go.
Alright, so I was just going to ask about how much time approx is going to take from dev to data analyst? The transition.
Yeah, transition. Yeah, thank you for your question. Actually, I'm still software developer, so I not finished this path. I just explored the world and found a new interesting experience which I can share for you. And as long as you are practicing, because couple of slides, couple of dashboards were built on the real project. So we were gathering such dashboards after these marketing campaigns. So it took a couple of days, and we had these charts. And they are not one time, we have them in real time right now. So it's not a problem for our product owners. Just open the site, download report, and don't ask us as developers, guys, how many orders we have placed during the day. So it's a couple of days and you have first steps. And after that, you just need to explore more and more.
Was there any? Yeah, perfect. Please go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to ask, why it's so complicated? Why not to just buy a Power BI subscription?
Sorry,
Why not just use the Power BI?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I also heard about Power BI, about reporting server, etc. So we have them on different projects. Reason why I'm bring Apache Superset here is just because it's really ready to use for you inside the Docker. It's open source and it's quite extendable, and it's just not modern tools because Power BI you could have almost on the every project, and this one give you just new experience and new new insight for your project. So you could select any tools, and Apache Superset is just was my selection based on experience which we had. I'm not checked actually Power BI subscription. Is it, let's say, available for free or something? Because Apache Superset you could deploy locally, and that's it.
Any other questions, guys? No? Then let's once again thanks.